Still here with Caitlin Moeller. She is a naturalist for the Dubuque County Conservation, and we have moved out from Whitewater Canyon and we are on Heritage Trail here in Dubuque County. Heritage Trail is pretty interesting. It's Rails to Trails. Tell me a little bit about that initiative.
Yeah, so I'm going to back up a little bit so I can explain the whole depth of it here. But back in 1880s, there was a group of people who thought, hey, we really want to make this railroad. We want to make it from Chicago to attach to Minnesota to attach to Kansas City. So they came up with this dream and they put it into play. So at a rate of about 2 miles per day, they laid in these tracks. So 100 years after they put the train tracks in 1885, they took them out. So when they took them out, a group formed called Heritage Trail Incorporated, and they were a group of individuals who were just really passionate about, why don't we see what we can do with this? All this land that is already broken up into the train tracks, what can we create with it? So they contacted the Rails to Trails initiative, and what that basically is an initiative that takes old abandoned railroads and converts them into trail systems like this one. So that Heritage Trail Incorporated and the Rails to Trails initiative, they went through and they removed all the tracks, they fixed all the bridges, they put in fence line, they talked to all the bordering landowners, and they created what is now known as the Heritage Trail.
Yeah, so we're standing on an old railroad bridge right now, and when you look down the line, it's very straight. It is a very straight and a very level trail as well.
Right, yeah, so it's actually a 3% elevational gain. So when you think about the driftless region, which is where we are now, we weren't smushed by the last glacier, so we have really interesting hilly topography. So what they always said this railroad was called was a mountain railroad in prairie country. So you're going through the really cool topography,
right,
but the railroad essentially kind of cut through it all. So it's not a huge elevational gain. It's very forgiving to your legs. So it's a pretty fun, pretty flat trail. There's a few twists, but really it's not overall that difficult to bike on or hike on. Yep.
Yeah, it's a very easy trail to ride on. How long is it? It's about 30 miles-ish?
Yeah, so the portion that Dubuque County manages, it's actually this limestone. So it's actually like a limestone, like an infield of a baseball field.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty firm surface, so some people can use road bikes on it even too. And our section is about 26 miles that we manage. So it actually divides the county in half. So it goes from Dyersville all the way to Dubuque. And since the establishment of the Heritage Trail, the city of Dubuque has really kind of flourished their trail system as well. So it connects with an overpass over 52 to the whole city of Dubuque trail sections too.
Right, and it's great. Yeah, you can ride literally from downtown Dubuque on trails all the way through to Dyersville. That's pretty incredible.
There's so many different access points too. So if you didn't want to do the whole 26 miles in one day, you don't have to. There's several different access points throughout the trail that have parking. Some of them have like access to restrooms or water. So there's different things that you can do along the trail. And it's not just biking. You can go hiking as well. You can go foraging. There's people who do cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. And even in the winter when there's suitable snowpack, you can get a Heritage Trail pass to go snowmobiling on this trail too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Whoa, that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, because Snowmobile Access here in Dubuque County, there's not a lot of spaces for that.
Right, and this is such a beautiful trail, and it's off-road. You don't have to compete with vehicle traffic, so you're a little bit more protected, and it's a very scenic trail.
Yeah. So like I said, we're standing on a bridge. We've got a body of water underneath us, and there's some kayaking that's available for this as well?
Right, yep. So this is a really nice stretch to go kayaking if you're a first timer or if you're just coming with a group and you're looking for a fun activity. A lot of people put in back at Durango, but you can put in higher than that, and there's multiple different stretches that you can get out at. So generally when we have pretty good flow, it's a really easy area to go kayaking. And something cool that you can do is you can leverage the Heritage Trail as like a pedaling paddle excursion.
Paddling.
Yeah, so what that could basically mean was you could use your bike and your kayak as gear to kind of shuttle yourself back and forth. So without getting multiple vehicles involved, you can use a bike to bike yourself back to your car to go pick up your kayak. So we on occasion see people do that as well.
Is there anything that you particularly enjoy about this trail?
I just like coming out to see the multiple different seasons. And my favorite point, if I were to say any point's the best, it's Twin Springs. So if you go in at Twin Springs and you come east towards Dubuque, there's just so much you can see. On a given day, I've seen owls, I've seen deer. You see the really cool views of Sundown Mountain. You can go through the Split Rock where the train system literally blew through huge rocks to go through it. So it's a really rich trail in that there's lots of different animals and plants that you can see along the whole process.
Yeah, I'm sure the diversity that you can see along that 26-mile trek is a lot.
Yeah, and we own on 50 feet on each side of the trail, so it's a really linear park, but there's just a lot to explore along the way.
Yeah, so this goes all the way from Dyersville, and then Heritage Pond, that's another big portion of this trail as well, right?
Right, yep, so as you go into Dubuque, there's the Heritage Pond, which was an old quarry, so it's a deep pond. The water stays pretty cold there.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it stays pretty cold, so if it stays cold and it's deeper, it actually can support trout. So similar to how the DNR stocks trout at Swiss Valley, they actually stock trout at Heritage Pond as well.
Interesting.
Yep,
Great.
there's other fish species there too. But you can go with your fishing license and your fishing pole and you can harvest fish there. It's another easy area that's easy to access. It's close to a parking lot, so if someone has trouble with mobility or a kid, you can easily take them to that area. You can also kayak around in that pond. There's no motorized boats allowed, but you can kayak along there if you want to. So it's a pretty popular amenity just because of that. And also we just built a Heritage Pond campground. Yeah, so it's fairly new. There used to be motorhomes that Sageville had there, but they took it out and now we have camping pads there. So you can go in and you can camp with your camper right there. You can enjoy the biking and the hiking and also the kayaking or the fishing right at the pond there. So that's another cool amenity. And then also kind of close to the Heritage Pond is Sageville Marsh. So it's kind of a lower water level area, but there's an overlook where you can view birds, so you can view like trumpeter swans or pelicans or Canadian geese that are all just sitting right there out in the open. So it kind of has an overlook just like this one where you can view that whole platform. And it's half a mile from the Sageville Access.
Oh, that's great. This has all been very informative for me, but where can people learn more about Dubuque County Conservation?
Right, so you can go to dubuquecounty.org and there's a conservation page there and you can actually click on Parks and Trails. It's got photos of the area, it's got hydrology maps, it's got park maps in general that have all of our trails on it. So you can click on there and you can find most of the information you're looking for. If you still have further questions, or let's say you want to make a reservation for a campground or a pavilion or something like that, you can actually call the Dubuque County headquarters. You can give us a call there and ask us any other questions and we should be able to give you the right information.
Yeah, because you guys are here for us.
Yep,
and
exactly.
We're here for you.
Exactly,
Awesome.
yep.
Caitlin, this has been a really enjoyable day, really informative, and thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here and we're excited to see you on the trails.